In this week's news, we have guns confiscated on Disney property. We have refurbishment updates. We have a ton of food updates. We have scary clowns and more. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Brooke, and I'm a travel agent with Disney Castle Dreaming Travel. I'm a Disney theme parks fanatic and a lifetime Disney fan. My favorite thing in the world is helping people plan their Disney vacations, especially if they're beginners. We post Disney Parks news updates every Wednesday. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be sure that you don't miss any of our future videos. Now, let's get to the news. We are starting this week's news update with refurbishments. First up, Epcot. At this point, Epcot looks a little bit like a construction zone. Epcot Future World is in the midst of a major overhaul. There are a number of different projects in progress around Epcot's entrance and throughout Future World, including the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster, which is scheduled to open sometime next year. Now, I'm happy to report that construction does appear to be moving ahead on all of these projects. We don't have official completion dates or opening dates from Disney yet for any of the work going on, but we are hopeful that Disney is on track with their original plans to have all of this work complete in time for the big Walt Disney World 50th anniversary celebration next October. A very popular Epcot attraction, Frozen Ever After, is closing for refurbishment in a couple of weeks. Now don't panic, it's only for a few days. The attraction will be closed from November 2nd through the 6th, 2020. Now this is likely just for cleaning, general maintenance, routine stuff. It's really not enough time for them to be doing anything major or any kind of overhaul. Not to mention the fact that this is a fairly new attraction, so it's really not time for it to need any major work yet. Fingers crossed. We'll be in the park the following week, and we'll be sure and let you know how the attraction looks post refurbishment. The Art of Animation Resort is reopening at long last on November 1st, 2020. If you're not familiar with it, Art of Animation is a very popular value resort, and it's one of my personal favorites. During the shutdown, Art of Animation got some minor refurbishments, including some new flooring and some updates in the lobby area. The rooms themselves also got minor updates, mainly to furnishings and those small room details. If you haven't had a chance to check out the Art of Animation Resort, it's located on the Skyliner line. It shares a stop with Pop Century, and it's really a worthwhile stop to stop and visit this resort and check it out. All the theme icons from Cars, The Lion King, Finding Nemo, and The Little Mermaid, they're everywhere all over this resort, and they make terrific backdrops for unique family pictures. The Big Blue Pool, Art of Animation's largest pool, did not get its refurbishment done during the closure. As a result, the Big Blue Pool will be closed for refurbishment from January 11th, 2021 through early April 2021. Guests with reservations at the Art of Animation Resort during this time are encouraged to use the Flippin' Fins pool, which is in the Little Mermaid area, or the Cozy Cone pool, which is over in the Cars area during the closure. The Schoolyard Spray Ground play area is not being affected by the closure, so all the little kids that love to run through the sprinklers will be happy. Guests staying at the Art of Animation during this time should expect to see or hear some construction activity during their stay. However, they don't allow construction between dusk and 9 a.m., so your rest time really should not be impacted at all. If you have a reservation during this time at Art of Animation and are concerned about the Big Blue Pool refurbishment, please reach out to your travel agent. If you don't have a travel agent, you feel free to reach out to me and I'll take care of it for you. Also under refurbishment right now is the pool at the Boardwalk Inn, the Luna Pool. It's currently being refurbished while the Boardwalk Inn is closed. The pool area at the Boardwalk Inn is themed to the turn of the 20th century Coney Island. It's kind of old-timey amusement park, circus-y vibe. The centerpiece of the pool area has always been a giant clown face. The mouth of the clown is a water slide. Now, I'm not a giant fan of clowns to begin with, but this particular clown totally creeps me out. In fact, I've avoided booking reservations at the Boardwalk for my family because of the creepy clown at the pool. But good news, boots on the ground have reported that the giant clown head has been removed as part of the Luna Pool refurbishment. It has been seen being taken away from the pool area. Now, although no one actually saw it broken apart or dismantled, no one saw it thrown in the trash or burned in, say, a ceremonial cleansing, so we don't know for sure that it's not coming back. The area where the clown's head is still covered with a tarp, and there's still work being done. So we're not sure. But, dare we hope that the clown is gone for good? Could the Imagineers have something new and creative for that area that maybe doesn't terrorize small children and or say me? I don't know, unfortunately. We will definitely scope out the boardwalk pool area when we visit next month. Hopefully we will be able to give you a more definitive update on the clown then. But for now, I'm happily booking a reservation for my mom and myself at Boardwalk for May, assuming that the clown will be gone. We'll see. If you are enjoying this video, please like, subscribe, and click the bell below to make sure that you don't miss any of our future videos. We come to you every week on Wednesday with Disney Parks news updates, and we post breaking news when it occurs. We also post videos with Disney trip planning tips, resort and restaurant reviews, and other topics that you might enjoy. Now let's get back to the news. We have lots of food news this week. Over at Hollywood Studios, the ABC Commissary has reopened with a completely new menu. Now, there are still some old favorites on the menu, but the menu has had a pretty major overhaul. Tacos and curry rice bowls have taken center stage. New items include pork carnitas tacos, shrimp tacos, curry rice bowl with shrimp, and a plant-based curry rice bowl with tofu. 2 new chicken sandwiches have also joined the lineup. Kids can choose from a pork taco, a grilled cheese sandwich, a turkey sandwich, or their old favorite Uncrustables. Also at Hollywood Studios, we have a new menu for Minnie's Halloween Dine over at Hollywood and Vine. This meal does feature character appearances where the characters will parade through the dining area and wave and let you take pictures from a distance, but they will not be stopping at your table for individual pictures as you might be used to from pre-COVID character meals, unfortunately. This is a fixed price 3-course meal featuring a salad, an entree, and a dessert. Now, entree choices from the new menu include prime rib, roasted turkey breast with all the fixing, macaroni and cheese with shrimp, salmon, pork ossobuco, and plant-based pan-seared king trumpet mushroom. Desserts include your choice of apple blueberry pie, banana cream pie, chocolate s'mores pie, vanilla creme brulee, and a plant-based cherry lemon pie. Cocktails, wine, and beer are available for an additional price. Beer starts at $7.50, wine by the glass starts at $10, and cocktails start at $13. Now, in the past, I have not enjoyed my Hollywood and Vine experiences. However, I have to admit this new menu sounds pretty good. Or maybe it's the cocktails that are helping, I'm not sure. But we may have to check this out for ourselves. Now, next up in food news, we have Chef Mickey's Character Dining coming back to the Contemporary. Starting on December 16th, Mickey and Minnie and their friends will be back at Chef Mickey's at Disney's Contemporary Resort. It's not quite the same as it was before. This is not a buffet at the moment, and the characters will not be coming to your individual table. However, the characters will be popping up at surprise intervals and parade through the dining rooms, waving at guests for pictures. So it's something. Reservations for Chef Mickey's Character Dining open up on October 17th. Now, it's important to note that Chef Mickey's is currently open. It's currently an all-you-care-to-eat family feast without characters. I know this has confused some people, so it is currently open. Pricing for the current situation for adults is $25, children are $14. However, once the characters are added, the pricing for this experience is going to jump to $42 for adult and $27 for kids. Now, there are also 3 new entrees being added to the menu at Chef Mickey's. Mickey's Celebration Pancakes, Goofy's Banana Bread French Toast, and a loaded cheese potatoes casserole that includes crumbled bacon bits and chives. It sounds really good. So if you want to check out this very popular character dining experience, reservations are highly recommended. And in fact, they're really required. There are new mask warning signs that appeared throughout the Walt Disney World theme parks last week. These signs more specifically state that guests must wear their masks properly at all times. And the signs further state that guests who do not wear their masks will be asked to leave the theme park. I know there's been some confusion on this. Florida was recently moved to phase 3, which means that the state government is no longer requiring masks in all public places, and they have lifted the fines that they had in place for people not wearing a mask in public spaces. However, it is very important to recognize that each business has the right to establish and follow their own protocols based on what that business believes is safest for their guests or customers. Disney has their own policies completely separate from what the state dictates. Now, Disney has determined, based on their research and advice that they received from scientific advisors and guidelines from the CDC, that's the Center for Disease Control, that masks help prevent the spread of COVID-19 and other airborne spread diseases. Disney is requiring all guests over the age of 2 to wear masks at all times while in the theme parks and while in public areas of Disney Resort. I understand that this is a hot button topic for some people. The bottom line, if you aren't willing to wear a mask during your Disney visit, do not visit Disney. If you don't wear a mask, you will not be permitted entry to the theme parks. If you remove your mask other than to eat while in the theme parks, you will be asked to leave the theme parks. It's very simple. If you aren't comfortable wearing a mask during your Disney theme park visit, do not visit Disney until masks are no longer required. Hopefully, that's going to be sometime next year. Disney has a very good refund policy right now due to the challenges raised by COVID-19, and I am confident that they will work with you to cancel or reschedule or refund your trip. Last week, we talked about capacity at the theme parks and our belief that Disney has been quietly increasing capacity at the theme parks. This is based primarily on anecdotal and observational evidence. We're seeing the theme parks are feeling more crowded. We are seeing much longer lines for attractions. It's getting more difficult to social distance in main traffic areas. Throughout the theme parks, park reservations are fully booked up, and then suddenly Disney releases more availability for certain days, especially weekends. It just is feeling like capacity has increased. However, Bob Chapek, Disney's CEO, told CNBC this week that Walt Disney World theme parks are still capped at 25% capacity. He also stated that the parks will remain capped at 25% capacity until the CDC guidelines change. We have to assume that Bob Chapek knows what he's talking about. He's the boss of all the bosses. And while we know he's not in the trenches physically admitting guests into the parks, we figure he's heavily involved with the decisions related to theme park capacity, right? Especially as those decisions are going to affect the overall profitability of the theme parks dramatically. So what could account for the discrepancy between what we're seeing and feeling and what he says is fact? Well, first off, it's likely that when the parks first reopened, they were not anywhere near 25% capacity. Perhaps they opened at 5 or even 10% and hovered there for 2 months. We saw tons of pictures and lots of comments during those first couple months that the parks were like ghost towns and all the attractions were walk-ons, and that has certainly changed. So perhaps what we are seeing now is truly 25% capacity. I don't know. Another factor could be staffing related. If Disney is staffing fewer cast members on attractions, perhaps some attraction lanes are closed, slowing down the movement of guests through those rides, resulting in longer lines and more congestion. I'm not really sure. It sure seems like the crowds we are seeing, especially in Hollywood Studios and in the Magic Kingdom, are way higher than 25% capacity. But we don't work at the theme parks, and Disney's fairly tight-lipped about what they consider full capacity to be. So the short answer right now, we don't really know. Are we at 25%? Are we at 22%? Are we at 18%? We're going to be there next month, and after that trip, we will be sure and share with you our perspective from actually being there. Our final story this week is a troubling one. We have learned, courtesy of the Orlando Sentinel, as well as several other news outlets, that a Disney guest brought an AR-15 rifle and a 9mm handgun with him on his Disney vacation. The guest, An unnamed 43-year-old man from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, checked into the Polynesian Villages resort over Labor Day weekend. When the guns were discovered in his luggage, Disney contacted the local sheriff. The man had a concealed weapons permit, and so he was not arrested. However, Disney does not allow weapons of any kind on property, so Disney confiscated and held the man's arsenal from him until the end of his vacation. He stated that he brought the weapons with him on his vacation because he was worried about his family's safety during the social justice protests that were happening in the Orlando area last month. Now, personally, I think if you are worried enough about the safety of your family that you feel that you need to bring an assault rifle, a handgun, and more than 100 rounds of ammunition with you on vacation to Disney World, where there are thousands of unarmed adults and children, perhaps maybe you should just postpone your vacation until a time when it feels safer for you to visit. Again, Disney is being extremely flexible with cancellations, refunds, and rescheduling right now. I would never want anyone to feel unsafe, but we cannot have assault rifles and other deadly weapons making their way onto Disney property. To be clear, Disney does not allow guests to bring weapons of any kind onto its property. If you have issues with this policy, please contact Disney directly. And that's it for this week's Disney Parks News Update. I'm Brooke with Disney Castle Dreaming Travel. We come to you every Wednesday with Disney Parks News Updates. We also post Disney travel planning tips, resort and restaurant reviews, and other Disney-related topics. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be sure that you don't miss any of our future videos. If you have an idea for a topic you'd like us to cover, please let us know by commenting below or visiting our blog over at disneycastledreaming.com. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Happy dreaming.